Assalamu alaikum guys, this is me Mohammed. Welcome back to my channel. And finally today is our day 24 of the challenge that we have started of 3 years to learn the complete machine learning from very basic to very advanced. And we have started the Python with the very basics, and so far we have done it to the Python oops and classes and objects. And today finally we are going to learn about the inheritance in Python, which is a topic of object oriented programming basically. So let's start the video without wasting our time. Yeah, but by the way, let me tell you that this is my GitHub repository. You can access the code that I have wrote so far. You can uh, access the code from here. You can write your own code, compare with mine, and also you can use my code also. Okay, I have the chat gpt open here. If I don't understand any point, we can ask from chat gpt and try to understand what the w3 schools website is trying to teach us. Okay, yeah, so first of all, let's make a new folder for day 24, as today is our day 24. And since we are going to learn about the Python inheritance, so I'm going to make a new file as 67th, right? As the last file was 66, which is about classes and objects in Python. And today we are going to learn about the inheritance in Python. So first of all, I have to make the 67th file and then the inheritance in Python. Inheritance in Python. So just write the python.py as an extension for the Python file. Then just hide the Explorer menu and just write the subject, which is the inheritance in Python, and then the name of the author, which we usually do, which is a practical practice actually that we have to do. If you want to be a real world programmer, you have to do these things. So yeah, that's why we are practicing from the very first day, and so far we are doing it very well. So today's date is 19th August and it is 2025. Make sure to subscribe my channel and like the video, and make sure to share it also with your friends who is interested in Python. Okay, so inheritance. What is inheritance? Let us read this tutorial. Inheritance allows us to define a class. So how we can define a class, we have already learned that. So uh, inheritance allows us to define a class that inherits all the methods and properties from another class. So what the W3 schools website is trying to teach us is that we can make a class, which we have already know how we can make a class. We can make a class as like this. Let's say this time I make as father. Okay, this is a father, and then I'm using it like this. And let's say for right now I'm just writing the pass keyword. Then by using the inheritance I can make a new class, and here I can, what I can do here is that I can give it some value and then pass. Okay, you can see it is giving me no error. And this is called inheritance. This is my child class, and it is inheriting the properties of the father class. So this is how this is how inheritance works. But let's see what it said next. Parent class is the class being inherited from. So parent is a class from which we inherit, which in our example is father, and also called base class. So this class is also called base class. So this class is my base class. Let me write it here as base class, and this is my, I don't know which class, I guess child class. Oh sorry, child class is also called child class is the class that inherits from another class. So from parent class we inherit, mean the data is being inherited, and the child class inherits from another class, which is the parent class basically actually. So, and also this child class is also called derived class. Derived, the word, from the word we know that what it means. Derived means to derive something from something, right? Derived class. Yeah, that's it. Let's go ahead and read what is next. So create a parent class. First of all, I am going to make a new uh, comment here. Then I'm giving some space so that you can understand what it means, and I am also commenting that one so it do not execute when I write something else. Any class can be a parent class. Okay, any class can be a parent class, so the syntax is the same as creating another class. So basically making a class is very simple. We know that how to make a class. So here in the example is that create a class named person with first name and last name properties and a print name. So what it means by properties, from properties it means that the variables. Okay, so let's make the parent class. So first of all, I am going to make this parent class as person. Then this is a base class. Okay, so then I am going to define the init method, and then you can see it is written itself. Then after it I'm going to write the first name, okay, first underscore name, then comma, then I am going to write the last name underscore name. Then I'm going to write here itself dot first name, of course, right? First underscore name equals to first name, and then again self dot last name underscore, of course, last name equals to last name. All right, then I am going to make my own function, which is print full name or print name, just okay, print name. Then inside it I am going to write the self keyword, which is very important to write here. Then I'm going to just print what, print the, or print or return, which should, what should I, okay, print, okay, print, just print, then self dot first name, then space. Okay, what I am going to do is that actually it is a little hard for me. I'm just going to write the formatted string. Okay, then inside it I'm going to write it like this. It will be a lot more easy for me to print, as the space will be given by itself. And then last name, remove the space from here. And yeah, our class is ready. These are the properties of our class, and this is the method inside the class. This is actually a function. You can see that it's a function, but since it is inside the class, so it is now called a method. Okay, now I'm going to make an object for this class, as this is a blueprint and this is the actual building or something, car like this. So this is our object that has been created. Now inside it I'm going to store my class, which is this. Then I have to give some values to this, of course, right, like this. Okay, so first name and last name. My first name is Mohammed, and you can see above that my last name is Qamar, so I'm going to give it a value as Qamar. Then I'm going to print, not print but p1 dot, since I'm going to use this method. So for method we do not, this is a method, right? So for method we do not write the print function, but just print underscore name, and in front of it use the parentheses and run it. So you can see that it will print Muhammad Qamar. Okay, you can see that Muhammad Qamar has been printed on the screen in the terminal, of course. Okay, so yeah, but this is just a parent class. Actually any class can be parent class. You can, we have read it here, right? So it is right now just a class. It is a class, it is not a base class, it is not a derived class, it is right now just a class. Okay, why I'm saying that it is just a class right now, you will inshallah uh, learn it very soon. Okay, create a child class. Now we are going to create a child class. To create a child class, to create a class that inherits the functionality from another class, send the parent class as a parameter when creating the child class. Okay, so create a class named student, which will inherit the properties and methods from the person class. Okay, I am going to make a new class as So one thing more here is that it is right now just a class, not a parent class, not a base class, not a derived class, not a child class. It is just a class right now. But and this is also right now a class, but actually it is not, it is right now nothing. I'm going to make it right now. Let's say it is a student class. Okay, now I want to inherit the properties of the person class. So now this class became the derived class, or you can say that the child class, and this is the parent or the base class. Okay, then colon, and right now I'm just writing the pass keyword here so that it will not give me any error. You can see that it is inheriting the values from the parent, and write in the pass keyword. Use the pass keyword when you do not want to add any properties or methods to the class. Here you can see, right now the students has the same properties as the person class. Here you can see that we have just wrote the pass keyword. We didn't write anything like no property, no method, but still it has the properties of the parent class, the methods of the parent class. So now, I'm going to access the properties of the parent class, but you by using the child class. Okay, how we are going to make it? It is very easy. I'm going to make another object, as this object is p1. Let's say we are going to make an object as p2. Inside it I'm storing the student class. Okay, not parent class, not the person class. It is the student class, which is actually the derived class. I'm going to give some values at, let's say this time I'm going to any value as John, and then d or edo, I guess, and then p2. You can see that it do not have any print name function or method, but still I'm going to print it using this print name, and now run it. Here you can see it is still running. So that is how we can inherit the properties of one class inside another class. So this is called the inheritance. Hope so you got the point. Now add the initialize function. So far we have created a child class that inherits the properties and methods from its parent class, right? We want to add the initialize. This is actually the short form of initialize. Okay, so init, initialize function, to the child class instead of pass keyword. So now we are going to write something inside the child class so that the child class also had some of its own properties. It will also inherit the properties from its parent, but it will also contain some of its own properties. Okay, instead of writing the pass keyword, we are going to write the initialize function. Note that the initialize function is called automatically. Yes, when we create a class, so and create a new object, so the initialize function always automatically it is called. Okay, so what we are going to do is that uh wait a minute please. Here you can see it is f name, it is first name and this last name. Okay, so right now what we are going to do that to give some values to this one also. Okay, first of all I'm going to make it as comment, and then make it as copy also, and give it some space from the above one, and now going to just uncomment it. All right, this time I'm going to give it some values as define initialize, right? And then you can see that it is no, it is just inheriting everything. I do not want to inherit anything. I just want to write it like this. And yeah, for right now it is, I guess, just that's it. Add properties, etc. When you add the initialize function, the child class will no longer inherit the properties in its function, will no longer inherit the parents initialize function. Okay, note the child's initialize function overrides the inheritance of the parents initialize function. To keep the inheritance of the parents initialize function, add a call to the parents initialize function. Okay, so what this is gonna do is that it will make its own properties. instead of inheriting from the parent class, it will make its own properties. If you want to inherit properties from the parent class, we have to write the super. This actually, this is also called a base class and also a super class. Okay, so we are going to make, if you want to access the initialize properties, or the properties of this parent class, we have to use the super or name of the class we want to access the properties of. Okay, okay, so initialize, then inside it we are going to just write the self dot, not dot but comma, and then these things that we want to inherit. Okay, so now it is inheriting the properties of the parent. All right, but if we do not write this line, it will not inherit the properties from the person or from the parent class, but it will just make its own properties. Now we have successfully added the initialize function and kept the inheritance of the parent class, and we are ready to add functionality in the initialize function. Use a super function. Python has also has a super function that will make a child class inherit all the methods and properties from its parent class. This is what I was talking about. Okay, you can use the name instead of the name of the class, you can use just the super class. It will directly suggest that the super means that the class from which we are inheriting the properties. Okay, one thing more here is that we are not required to write the self keyword here. By using the the super function, you do not have to use the name of the parent element. It will automatically inherit the methods and properties from its parent class. Okay, add properties. How we can add properties is that add a property called uh, graduation year to the student class. So now we are adding something as graduation year equals to 2019 in the example below. Okay, first of all we are going to make it to write it. Okay, let's say I write here a super, then I think I can now remove it. Okay, I hope so it will not give me any error, right? Then I am going to make it, wait please. All right, self dot graduation year, self dot graduation underscore year, and equals to, let's say, 1990. Okay, for 2019, anything you want to write. And example below, the year 2019 should be a variable and passed into the student class when creating student objects. To do so, add another parameter in the initialize function. Okay, initialize function here is this. Okay, add a new parameter and pass the correct year when creating objects. But here you can see that we do not have. Okay, we have a parameter as year, we have created as year. Okay, to make it work properly, we have to add something here in the initialize function. This is actually the property of the student its own. Okay, so we are going to write just the year here. So, and then the year goes here. Okay, so we can also do it here as that. All right, just remove it, and all right, done. So now what we can do is that since we have just made it like this, we can now add as 2019 this time and print it. Let's say what it is gonna print. It is printing nothing right now, but I guess it is just storing the values. Okay, let's try it by ourselves. Okay, so add methods. How we can add methods? Add a method called welcome to the student class. Okay, this is our student person. It is inheriting from the person. Define initialize year, something like that. Then it is okay. Welcome self dot first name, self dot last name to the class of self dot graduation year. Okay, then I am writing inside this class is I have to create a new function. Define let's say welcome. okay, and then self, it is going to be like this, then print f like this, then welcome first name self dot first name, then space, then self dot last name, then to the class of graduation year, okay, which is in our example is going to be the year. All right, and run it now. Okay, it is still not working right now. We will see it here. If you want to add method in a class child with the same name as a function in the parent class, the inheritance of the parent will be overridden. Okay, if you we write the same spelling or same name function inside a child class which is inheriting a parent class, and a parent class is also containing the same function, then the child's class function will override the parent's class function. Okay, so here something, the question I have right now in my mind is that I want to write it, but it is not mentioning it there. Just copy this line, paste it here, then say how to print desired thing. Okay, so right now your code is correct. Print to dot print name will print the name because that's what you define inside the in the person class, right? If you want to print specific thing desire, we have to write dot welcome or something like that. Okay, welcome. Okay, so what we can do is that just instead of writing the print name, I can write the welcome here, right? Print this, and here you can say welcome John Doe. Okay, it is accessing the name of the child, not the parent. It is very good to the class 2019. Okay, it's correct. All right, just I have to make it as comment, and that's it. Okay, you can see that day by day our code is getting little longer, which is very good, and it makes me happy as myself. I am right now a little getting little good in coding right now. Okay, it is very basic, but yeah. What is the correct keyword to use inside an empty class to avoid error? Okay, we can use the pass keyword, of course. Okay, then next question. Then what is the correct syntax to create a class named student that will inherit properties and methods from class named person? Okay, what is the syntax to create a class named student? Okay, student, first of all, it is going to be like this student, then it will inherit the properties of person like this. Okay, submit our answer. Next, we have used a student class to create an object named X. What is the correct syntax to execute the print name method of? Okay, how we can do is that X dot print name, and like this print name, right? Print name. All right, submit our answer. It is correct. And finally we have completed this. Also, one thing more here in my mind is that my Python is, you can say that, nearly coming toward the full, right? We are going to complete, and it is still 43. I don't know why. I guess we have to complete these things also, which we are not going to do right now. Yeah, that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching my video, and make sure to subscribe my channel and like the video. See you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.